For the pink one, if you have no white, you're probably going to need some white. So water, paintbrush. I've already masked my image down. I've already started to make a bit of red. Now the red is already quite pink anyway. I think it's more of a magenta, which is fine for when you're adding in some definition. But to start with, you really want that nice light pink. So I'm going to go in with the white, and you will need quite a lot of white. So nice wet brush, and just mix that white in with that red, just to get that really, really, really light pink, as light as you can get it. And the pink one does have different bits to it. So I'm going to just do this area first, and then I'm going to come right down. But I want to be able to keep that line there so I can show where my shadow is. And I'm going to keep some bits white. So I'm going to go in first with this light pink. I don't think that's light enough, but hey ho. If you don't think it's light enough, Mrs. Woodward, then add some water to it. There we go. So really light. Going to keep some bits white, as I say. Keeping some bits white. I'm just going to draw around that, if you can see what I'm doing here. Keeping this bit white. Go right up to that in a bit. Keeping that white around the edge. And then down here, I'm just going to bring that round. Working fairly quick with this one. Right, there we go. So that's that bit. Then what I'm going to do down here, I'm just going to bring actually some of that this way. I'm going to go this way with it. And I'm leaving some bits white again. Working quite quickly. Following the shape. I have drawn in a shadow, because if you look at the pink one, you've got a circle here. Obviously you've got your dark circle in the middle. It's not perfect. And then it comes down, and then you've got shadow. So I'm just going to mark in some areas here, because this is going to be my darker part, but I'm just going to follow that and not spend too much time on it. Right, that's that bit. And then this comes up slightly. Okay, now you really need to pay close attention to your reference photo. See if I can get that. Okay, so I want to focus on this dark area here, which is really, really, really dark pink. So I'm going to go in with red into my lid, mix in some of that water. I'm just going to see how dark this is going to come up. That's perfect. Okay, so I'm not going to paint the whole thing. I'm just sort of swiping it across, because it's got texture to it, and I want to keep that illusion. And what it's doing is it's creating its own sort of pattern. I'm just following that line down here, bringing that around. Now, I want to make sure that this area down here is still wet. I'm just wetting my brush there. Right, and I'm just going to keep doing that, really, just to give it that texture that we can see on the actual image. Now, on the image, the dark pink comes actually right up to underneath here. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to paint exactly what I see. So it sort of comes out a bit, and then it goes all the way up, because that's where we've got the side of it. And then obviously I'm going to leave some room for the blue one, which I don't want to crash into that, so I'll just go there. Marks, 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 keeping those marks in. It doesn't have to be a perfect line, so that can just scruff up that line a little bit. Right, now I'm going to go back in with that magenta colour. Maybe even darken that up a little bit. So we're working in layers when we work with watercolour. And I'm just going to go back in here. Now it will naturally just spread out anyway, and this is wet, so this is going to have a really nice effect to it. This bit is pretty block pink if you look at the image, so that's fine. And down here as well, it's quite block pink as well. Okay, and up here as well on the side of it, the whole image is pretty bright pink, and it sort of comes up into the lighter areas of the sweep. Okay, right, now I'm going to go into this bit which is dry, and I'm just going to start making some random marks. Just putting in some dots because this is all dry. It's darker around this inner edge as well, where the circle is. But I want that to bleed upwards, so don't worry if you get it in that circle because that's going to be black. So I just want this to sort of be darker. So I'm just going to go around there, then I'm going to go back into my paint and I'm just going to bring that out. I think that that gives it a nice bit of form, and it looks like the sweet's going in at the center. And then I'm just going to drag that bit up here a bit. Now this is lightened up quite significantly and I want it to be a bit more pink, so I'm going to go in and I'm just going to start adding in some of those pink marks, leaving some bits white, pulling this bit up a bit more up here. Adding some more areas in there. Maybe joining up some sides. Adding some more in here. This bit's quite pink up here also. Maybe I need to go in with a bit of pink there where it's a lot darker. I just want to give a sort of roundness to this edge, so I'm just going to okay. Okay, so I want that to dry a bit before I go in and add the black or the shadow. And that's the pink one so far.